But what's special about this is it is made of yarn and rainbow loom bands. So there's a difference. It isn't as stretchy, and some people don't like the feel of rainbow loom bands on their wrist, and this does have a completely different feel on your wrist. So I'm going to show you how to make this today. And to make this, I used cotton yarn, and the one I used is a 4-ply cotton yarn, and this is what I recommend. So if you use a different type and you have a harder time, you may want to go back and use this kind of yarn. It's just a 4-ply cotton yarn. So let me pull it a little closer so you can see the information on it. Okay. Don't matter what brand. So I try to keep the brand out of the way. You're going to need your rainbow loom bands, of course. This one has about 30 bands in it. Your wrist size may be different than me, so you may need more or less. And of course, you're going to need your rainbow loom. I have it set up so that I have an opening at the end to do the bracelet. All I need is 2 bars for this. And also you're going to need a pair of scissors to cut your yarn. All right, so we're going to get started with this. Let me get some bands out. Put a little pile out here. Oh, and you're going to need your rainbow loom hook. Don't forget the hook. For this, I highly recommend also that you use the upgraded hook and not a regular hook. I haven't tried this with a regular hook, but you're probably going to need the upgraded hook or the newer kit that comes with this hook. Okay. So to get started with this, first thing we're going to do, we're double banding this every time. So you're going to start out with a double band on the end, and then you're going to get your yarn. Find the end of my yarn. Okay, then you're going to get the end of your yarn. Move all this junk out of my way. You're going to take your hook and put your yarn on your hook. Put it around it. Crisscross it, and this is the end piece, okay? The end piece is going over the rest. So you have a little hoop. The end piece is on top of the crisscross. Then you're gonna pull the yarn up from here and put it in your hook and pull it through the hole. I'll do that one more time to make sure you got it. Take the yarn, you need to crisscross it, and your hook needs to be in this hole here. Go down and grab this with your hook, pull it through the hole. Okay, don't pull this tight. All right, your hoop can now be tightened by one string. This string is going to tighten it, and this string here, going to make a liar out of me, is going to loosen it. Sometimes you have to work with a little. So one side tightens, one side loosens, okay? So now you're going to take this little hoop and you're going to put it on here, and you're going to tighten it up. But you don't want it so tight that you can't work with it, okay? So you want it snug. You want the knot to be to the front. Okay, so we're going to bring it up in here so we can work with it. First thing you're going to do now is you're going to pull these 2 bands up over each side. And as usual, just be careful you're not pulling off the top piece, be it yarn or bands. And push everything down. Okay, your next row is going to be your double black bands. And this time you're pulling the yarn up over. So this is basically going to be like a fishtail. But the tricky part is how you put the yarn on each time. And if you want to kind of hold here if it's sliding. Okay, so you're going to carefully pull your yarn up over on each side. If you're having trouble with how tight your yarn is, remember that you can loosen it or tighten it with these 2 pieces, okay? I'm going to gently pull down here. All right, from here, you're going to take your yarn in your 2 fingers. You're going to twist it like so. So it's in an X. You're going to take that X and put it up on here, on your pegs. And let go of it, like so. I'm going to show that to you one more time. Put it on your fingers, so it's looped up over. See how it's looped up over? And you're going to twist it around. So you got an X. This part's underneath. Put it on here. Take your fingers out of the X. And leave it on your loom. Okay, this is, again, you want it to be snug enough to stay on, but not so tight that you can't work with it. Then you're going to pull your, if you want to hold here, I tend to hold it here with my 2 fingers. Then you're going to pull your black bands carefully up and over. Push everything down. Now you're putting on 2 black bands. And you're going to pull your yarn up and over. Careful not to tug your yarn too hard when you're pulling it up and over, or you could pull it out of place. And again, taking these 2, twisting them around so you have a little twist there, and then you're putting them up and over onto your pegs and tightening them. And that's kind of a tricky move, so it's going to take a little work to get used to doing that. If you want it, it's just an easier way for you to do that. Really, I think that's the easiest way I can think of to show you to do it. Basically, it's twisted. So also you could take it and just twist it and put it on. Yeah, that works too. You could do it that way too. I'm kind of used to the other way, but you can do that too. So that puts it on. It's going to look like this is bunching up here, but don't worry, it's not. It's okay. All right, so don't worry about this coming back up at you. All right, then you're going to pull the black ones up and over. Careful not to pull your yarn off, because it's very easy to pull the yarn off at this point. You can hold it in place if you need to. I'm going to pull these over one at a time. Where's my other one? Oh, it's up under the yarn. What are you doing under there? You don't belong under there. There we go. Okay, and we'll tug it down a little. Okay, and we're ready for the next one. I'm going to twist it the way I showed you. Twist, and then lay over both pegs. And then snug it. Oops, I skipped my bands. 2 black bands. Sorry about that. 2 black bands. And then pull the yarn up over. Careful not to pull it too hard so you stretch it out of place. Just gently tug it up and over. And push it down. Now we're going to twist. Twist. Put on the 2 pegs. And wiggle it back and forth till it's snug. And then pull this up and over. Notice I kind of held that yarn in place because it wanted to come off. Okay, we're going to get this side. And we're going to push it down. Okay, now we're ready for 2 black bands. And I'm going to twist it the way I'm used to doing it now, since I've shown you the other way a few times. Twist it and put it on. And pull our black bands up and over. Let's focus this a little better. Right here, focus, behave. Oh. Push everything down. I'm ready for our black bands. And then come back up with the twist. And pull your black bands over. Pull it down. And 2 more black bands. If these get too loose, you can always tug on this little tiny bit. Don't do it too much because you don't want it to be too tight. And then pull your orange up and over. Oop. Gonna pull over the orange now. Like I said, always be careful when you're pulling over the yarn that you're not pulling it out too much. I'm just gently wiggling it over. And I make this look easy, but you're going to find there's a little work to getting the orange to be the right tension that you want it to be. But you'll get used to it. It just takes a little bit of work. If I'm going too fast for you, pause so you can catch up and then you can restart it. Leave that little tug because it pulled out too much. Anytime you pull it out too much, like I said, you can pull this side here and that'll pull it back in. Say I pulled this hoop out real big, I can just go like this and it'll pull back in. Okay. Oh, orange. Distracting myself. See how long our bracelet is. Yeah, it's just about there. It goes pretty quickly doing it this way. Once you get used to what you're doing. I'm going to check the length of this. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so from here, the last row you're going to do is the yarn. I'm going to put on the yarn and pull the black over. And then I'm going to cut the yarn the length I want it to be so I can tie it on my wrist. And I'm going to take it off the loom by putting both the hoops on my hook. And I'm going to end it simply by taking this piece and pulling it through, or pulling these over, either one. We'll pull them up and over. And then wrap it around the hook and pull it up and over one more time. That gives you a nice finished knot. Okay. On this end, you're going to do a finished knot also, but you're going to take it through your hook through both ends of this band. You're going to pull this through. See how I wrapped it around my hook? You can also just put it on your hook and pull these up and over. I'm wrapping it around my hook. Then you're going to put it on your hook one more time, pull it up over, or pull it through, whichever way you're more comfortable with, and pull it through. And there you have your rainbow loom band yarn fishtail. See, it's got a little bit of stretch to it, but not a lot. And it's very comfortable on the wrist. It's got a fancy little line up one side. So I hope you like this tutorial, and I will be seeing if I can come up with any more with the yarn and the rainbow loom band. So check back and check out my other tutorials. Thank you for watching.